Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking a look at this. It is Caramel Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout. This is another one from Totally Brewed, who featured on the channel only 2 or 3 videos ago. And this one is a twist on their original Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout, but this time with caramel. So I've had this stout many times before. I've had several variations of this stout, but I don't think I've ever had the caramel one. And to be honest, I'm pretty excited about this one because I think I said in the previous video that I don't always get on with the brews that Totally Brewed put out, but their Papa Jangles, whatever they're calling it now, range is one that I really do enjoy an awful lot. So let's not mess around. Firstly, quick look at the can with the awesome artwork from Totally Brewed as usual. This can's got a bit of spillage on it, as you can see. That's how it arrived. But right, let's get this open. I'm getting wafts of sweet chocolate already. Right, a beautiful looking pour on that one. So a beautiful dark stout as you'd expect, 1 and a bit finger cream head, fair bit of carbonation, it's making quite a lot of noise, I don't know if you can hear it. Right, aromas, coffee, caramel, bit of subtle sweeter chocolate, like a milk chocolate, although I have to say I don't think this is a milk stout, so that may not remain true. I feel like there's a bit of nuttiness in there, almost a bit of an almond thing going on. Burnt cinder toffee, all those kind of good, treacly winter stout vibes. Now, this is being filmed in April. A few days ago it was 20 degrees. It's currently snowing outside, so I just pointed to the window and realised you probably can't see that, so that way it's snowing, well, probably all directions to be honest. So a stout right now is much welcomed. The head has completely dissipated off that, but it's also kind of stopped the carbonation as well. So let's get in. Cheers. I mean, it's everything we know from Totally Brewed stouts. It's got that solid base. I'm not picking up a whole lot of caramel initially though, if I'm honest. It's I mean, it's undiscernibly Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout. If you'd given me a pint of that and told me it was just Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout, I wouldn't have questioned it. As in just the original, no variation. I'm sure if you put them next to each other they're pretty different, but right now I'm not getting anything other than just the base beer. Right, let's go top to bottom tasting notes. So initially it's just a bit of generic stout bitterness across the front of the tongue, nothing over the top, nothing unpleasant, just a reassuring this is beer kind of sensation. In the middle, a lot of the carbonation kicks in. It's not heavily carbonated, but there's certainly a reasonable amount there that starts the flavours washing around. And with that you get that very subtle, fairly generic coffee-esque flavour that you get with most stouts. It's not heavy though. I wouldn't say this was a coffee stout. There's just a lingering bit of kind of espresso creamer, the sweet bit of it, just lingering in the middle there. It's not a full bore heavy roast coffee being experienced by any means. And then for me that transitions into a bit of bitterness again, and that's quickly squashed by some sweeter chocolate notes right on the back of the tongue, and it fizzles out. As for that caramel, I mean, I could convince myself that just before that chocolate kicks in, there's a bit of a crest of an extra sweetness that maybe isn't in the original brew, but I'm not really sure. So let's put this down for a minute, take a look at the can, and we'll come back to it. Totally Brewed Caramel Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout, 4.5%. Contains barley, oats, caramel flavour, yeast, hops and water. Best before the 30th of the 6th, 2021. That's only a few months away. I would have thought the stout lasted quite a while, so maybe this isn't the freshest can. Interesting. I only bought it recently as well, so something to be aware of. At Totally Brewed, we like to pack our beers with flavour. Our fearless approach to brewing means we're not afraid to look past traditional brewing techniques and have fun with gutsy flavour combinations. This beer is Totally Brewed. Totally Brewed Limited, Nottingham, totallybrewed.com. Totally independent since 2014. And that's all it says on it. It says it's got caramel flavouring in it. I am questioning how fresh this can is though, given that we're currently in early April and this expires in June. I wonder if it's lost some of its pizzazz. I was about to say, let's see if it's changed at all, but I just realised the aftertaste I'm now experiencing having sat this down for a few minutes. There's caramel there, for sure. The caramel appears to be in the aftertaste. It's not showing itself particularly dominantly in the beer, but at least no more than the regular sweet kind of stout anyway, because that it is. I think if you tried this having never had a regular Papa Jangles Stout or any of the variations, then you probably would say there was caramel in here, but it just tastes like that same stuff to me. But there's a bit of an aftertaste that I think is sweeter and different to the original, so let's give this another go. The coffee's opened up a bit, but it's still not strong on the nose. Get a bit of a praline thing coming through, which I guess would make sense with the chocolate and the nutty notes I mentioned earlier. It smells so appetising all the time. This beer does not change. It really doesn't. And that is something I approve of. As I said a few videos ago, I've had so many beers recently that change dramatically between first impressions and, you know, after sitting out for a few minutes, that it's quite hard to really judge them because one part is so much better than the other. This is not one of those beers. This is good from start to finish, and I actually think the beer I said that about was the other Totally Brewed one we had on the channel a few days ago. So it's good to see that they can create a beer with that consistency, because I wouldn't want to do them a disservice, and this one is properly good. If you're a stout fan, get onto the Totally Brewed website, Adventure Beer Company, whoever else sells them, and get some Papa Jangles Voodoo Stout. It doesn't matter if it's the original, if it's any of the twists. This one's delicious. I don't think it's particularly caramel heavy, so if you're looking for a super sweet beer, I'm not sure this is it. But that said, this is a fairly sweet beer anyway, so maybe it will tickle your fancy. I think that's everything I have to say about it. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you would be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.